Welcome to the show. Today I'm making for you a poached fish dish, and this is a very easy dish to make. It's also quite delicious. It's extremely healthy for you because the fish is only just cooked, and so are the other ingredients. We're working also with some asparagus because it's in season right now, so it's inexpensive and it's exceptionally good quality, and we're going to be steaming that ever so slightly after it's been shaved and using that to serve up our fish on today. This is a lovely dish. It's a nice entree, or it would be fantastic for a light lunch. You could have it with a little bit of salad as well. And I'm using barramundi, but you could use just about any fish, although some fish you'll find don't poach as well as others because they are softer and they do tend to fall apart. The barramundi sort of borders on that, but it happens to be my favourite fish and I love the flavour of it, and it's also Australian, which is another reason why I've gone down that track. So let's have a look at the ingredients we're going to be using today and the skills and techniques that we're going to be employing. For this dish you're going to need some oven roasted tomatoes, some olive oil, roasted fennel seeds that have been lightly crushed, some lemon juice, flat leaf parsley, white wine vinegar, your choice of fish fillets, asparagus, sea salt and some court bouillon. The first thing we're going to do is to poach the fish, and a court bouillon is already on the stove, so let's pop over there and get those started. Some recipes will tell you when you poach fish to bring the water to the boil, or the court bouillon, whatever it is that you're using to cook your fish in, and then to put a lid on and to turn it off and just allow it to sit in that hot water. Now that will cook the fish, and depending on the type of fish will determine how long that takes. I personally like to keep it simmering just ever so slightly, and I always cover it with baking paper. That way I'm ensured that the fish will never dry out on the top. And it will depend on how well you like your fish cooked as to how long you actually cook it, and also whether or not you do leave that temperature on very low or you turn it off altogether. Either way it will work. It's always a preferential thing, as it is with most cooking. I'm showing you the techniques, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow them exactly. If the way you do it works for you, then you do it that way. So what we've got here is our court bouillon, which I've already made earlier, and we've got that gently simmering. So what we're going to do now is just to lower our fish fillets in, and what I've done is taken a larger piece of fish. I'm working with barramundi today because it's my favourite fish, and I've just cut them into wedges, I guess, which is going to make it easier for serving and also a little bit more attractive than if you were trying to do a large piece of fish. So you can work with fish rather that has the skin on or off. That choice is up to you, and as I said, choose any fish that you like. This is also quite divine with salmon. So what we want to do is place our fish into the pan, and you want to have enough court bouillon or just water if you decide to go down that track. Make sure that you've got enough to just gently cover the fish. And the way I do my poaching is I just cover right down on the top of that with a little bit of baking paper, just to keep it moist all over the top, just in case some of that water starts to evaporate. Turn the temperature right down to almost barely simmering, and place a lid on the top. And we're going to allow that now just to simmer away for about 10 to 15 minutes. It will depend on the size of the fish, the thickness of the fish and the type of fish, and you'll be able to find out all of those details on exactly how long to cook it for either in the book or on the website blackbookcooking.com. So let's let that cook away, and we'll go back and prepare the rest of our ingredients. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to prepare our salad. Now, I've already roasted the tomatoes, as you can see, so you want to cool those down if you're actually going to do the roasting on the day itself. So we're going to place those into our bowl. Into there we're going to place our lightly crushed roasted fennel seeds. I've also just done these a little bit earlier, and you'll be able to see how to do each of these by coming back to the website. There'll be videos for each of these individually. So we're going to toss some of those into there as well. On top of that we'll place our chopped parsley and our lemon juice. And we're just going to mix those together, and that will become our salad for our fish. And I'm working on here the amount for one person only. Okay, we'll let that set aside and allow those flavours to permeate. All right, now our asparagus, and again you'll be able to see how these have been prepared, how I've shaved the asparagus by coming back to the website. I'm just going to steam these, and because we've got such a small amount, I'm just using my saucepan as my steamer. So I've got a little bit of water in the bottom of the saucepan. I'm using a strainer over the top, and into there we're going to place the asparagus heads as well as the shaved asparagus. That will go onto the hot plate and it will steam for a very short period of time, probably only around about 3 to 4 minutes will be more than enough. We just want to soften those up, and a lid on the top and over onto the hot plate. Okay, our fish should be done now, so let's have a look at that. Remove the paper and gently lift out those fillets. And be careful, depending on the type of fish you're using, some will hold together well and some won't. So just be quite gentle with those.